probably.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
So, that's okay. So when you present the Senge chapter, how we do it is you're in charge of the module. So for one module, there's 2 Senge chapters presented, and then the next module, there's 2 more Senge chapters presented. So overall, there's 4 Senge chapters presented. So everybody's going to sign up for one of the 4 chapters. And your group is going to do 2 things. You're going to first design what's going to go into the module for the week. And I really want it to be interactive. I want to people, the idea is that they learn the chapter without having to read the chapter. So that way they've got the book, but they're going to be reading their own chapter. So the chapter you're presenting, hopefully you shouldn't have to read it to learn about it. So we want some interactive things that are going to be loaded into the module. The second part of it is you will be presenting something that you've recorded in Zoom. It can be short. That your group will upload into the mod, or you'll give it to me and I'll upload it into the module as well. So there'll be 2 parts to it, all the module activities and then some sort of video that you guys create that you upload into the module. So basically the last, not the very last module, but the 2 before it are all organized by the class because they're all in Senge. It's last year was the first year I tried that because it was a way of trying to think through how does the class do a presentation like this, a class presentation. In the face-to-face class, they have like 45 minutes, but it usually takes an hour because we end up having fun. Sometimes people bring things in and we paint. I mean, we do all sorts of weird things. But we can't do that online. So instead, you can be super creative with how you present the material or what you have people doing. You can basically have them do anything you want. The only key is that you have to get me the module information by, prior to when the module is going to open, which I usually just need, one evening before. So like if the module opens on Sunday, you'd make sure I have everything by Saturday night. And then I'd drop it in.
Are those the same teams we've already worked with, or are those different teams?
No, they're different teams. You get to sign up for your team.
Okay.
It's in module 2. It's in module 2.
It's after all the videos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You get to sign up for your own team. So self-organization, and the idea again is to have fun with it and to think about the fact that you wouldn't want to be, what you like to be interacting with on a module and what you don't. So you can put everything in it that you like. If you like your colleagues, if you hate them, you can put in everything you don't like. So I was just joking about that. So anyway, so does that make sense? That part makes sense? Okay. I usually on those 2 modules try to not add anything else to them but the Senge pieces, because you're working on those case studies. Because by the last 3 weeks of the course, you don't need a whole lot of other stuff you're doing, because you're doing your reading, you're talking about Senge, and you're getting the case studies done. So we limit the amount that you have to do within a module. So there's a lot more upfront at the beginning of the course to what's in the course, and then as the course goes along, there's less in the modules as time goes by, because you're working on the case studies outside of being online in the course, if that makes sense. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So overall, you're going to have 3 groups. You have the group that you are assigned to and worked with during week 1. You're going to have the group that you sign up to work with on your case study. And you're going to have the group that you sign up to work with on your Senge chapter. The Senge chapter, it doesn't matter if I don't care. So if all of you who work together week 1 want to present a chapter together, it doesn't matter to me. Just go in there and sign up. I'm fine with that. I just think it's okay for you to self-organize. So any questions?
I saw
some IRB stuff towards the end of the module.
Mhm.
Is there a due date for that, or is that?
You really there's not really a due date for it. By the way, if some of you opened that and there were 33 pieces to it, that was incorrect because Fresno State changed the link. You know, that's sometimes what happens too. You have a link and it changes. So somebody emailed me about that today and I changed it to a new link, which should only have 3 pieces to it. You really just need to have it done before you're out there collecting any kind of data. Because it's just part of what we have to do when we're working on research through a university. Your IRB proposal that you put in, we will be working on in Module 3. I help do part of it for you because we have to move so fast with it. Once you decide what your research question is and what you're going to do, I basically write the IRB and just turn it into a departmental review. It's very fast and quick. But in the future, and other times you'll have to probably write your full IRB yourself. It's just in this class, I do it because there's not enough time. So, does that make sense? Does that answer the question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. Any other questions?
Yes, please. Hi, it's Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Hi. I was just skimming through the module, making sure that I had access to everything and whatnot. It looks like the IRB PowerPoint link or whatever was the upload might have changed also because I can't get it to open.
So you might have to be, are you logged into your, sometimes they're quirky. You have to be logged into your CSU CI email.
I am.
Okay.
Let me open it again and let you know what it says.
Yeah, just let me know what it says.
Okay. It says no playable sources found.
Okay, I'll work on it tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I also had one more kind of quick question. Mm-hmm. The readings for this week, on the syllabus it says to include chapter 3 on this week, but in the module it says just chapters 1 and 2?
Right, you need to add 3.
Okay.
That was a mistake, so add 3, yeah.
Okay.
Module 2 that you have right now used to be the beginning of the course, and then we flipped things and put them in a little different order, so I added a chapter to this week, and obviously in the module I just forgot to write that there.
But by chapter, you guys mean part, right?
It's part,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a good question for you because I've always assumed this, and assuming is bad. And my group this summer was like, we don't know what you're talking about. And they didn't want to answer. They were all stone-faced like you all are right now because I can see you. And I asked this and they're like, what? So do you know how to skim read? Have you learned to skim read yet? No. See, I like Sarah. Sarah, thank you. You're being honest. Okay. You can't do the amount of reading in any doctoral program if you plan on reading every single word. It's not possible to read every single word and take it all in. So the biggest thing I recommend that you do is you do skim reading, which is you start reading to get enough of what's happening in a chapter apart, and then you start skimming over it and looking for what am I understanding here and where would I go back and take a deep dive, right? So you're going to kind of make markers for yourself. Before you start that, I also suggest you do a review of the chapter and look at the text features. So what's the headers saying? What are the features that you're going to be seeing in this particular chapter? And then you go back in and you read deeply the parts that you really are connecting with or the parts that are making you think the most, okay? You cannot read every single word. When you're out there, I mean, in this course, you're going to be doing a short literature review. You can't read all of the text for the course, plus read all of the research that you're going to be pulling off the library site. So you have got to get where you're skim reading and then just going back and rereading, taking a deep dive where it matters the most for you. Obviously, on the Cengage chapter that you're teaching everyone, you're going to read the whole chapter in depth, right? Because you've got to teach it. But you're not going to be able to read that amount of material if you plan on reading every single word from beginning to end. So skim read. Also, sometimes you read, you're sitting down to read and you're skim reading and you're looking through everything and you're going deep in certain areas. The next time you visit that text and you're looking at the same part, you might want to go deep in a different area. Like maybe you're going to talk about it now, or you want to do your discussion board post, or you're going to respond in some way. So you go and read another area of it deeply. So that is another way that you can work with skim reading. So. You might all think I'm crazy, but it's the only way you're going to survive. I'm being honest. You will learn, you'll need it when you start writing your literature review for your dissertation as well, but you might as well know how to do it now, because you can't get through the volume of reading in 8 weeks. It's really 7 weeks, right? Because it's 8. If we think about the fact there's 8 modules, the last module, you guys don't know this yet really, but the last module is just helping you get your paper written. So there's really 7 weeks. So it's just a lot if you're not skim reading. Does that help or make it worse? Any other questions?
So this is Ray again.
Yeah.
I saw the assignment for Module 1 in the listing the assignments. I saw there was an assignment called Soft Chalk assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an error, or I didn't
No.
know what that was?
The Soft Chalk assignment is an online, it's a basically, instead of doing a PowerPoint, Soft Chalk is just another application that you can put information in that people can watch. So it has little interactive features inside of it. It's just a way of getting information. Okay, you don't really have to do anything. You just work with it. Does that make sense?
Right, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Remember that anything that's going on in the modules for an assignment or an activity is all rolled into your class participation. There's really only 2, there's 3 big assignments in the course, but 2 of them fit together. One being your case study, the actual research and the paper you write up, and then the presentation. Those 2 go together. And then the third one is the reflection paper. So everything else just adds up into class participation points. It's our way of doing formative assessment to make sure that you're, working with the material. I'm just repeating that because that was a question Sarah's group had this week when we talked with them online. Wanted to clarify that. So when you look at the syllabus and you think, well, that all these things that are in the modules are not listed there, you're right. It's because it's all just class participation.
So for the Senge chapters, is it starting in Module 4? That's when.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Presenting.
Yes.
Got it.
And that's something too, I encourage you to have fun and play around with it. So that way, when people go in and see what you did with it, it's engaging for them. I will literally just post what you put up there. I will not be fixing it. So whatever you guys do is what you do, right? So, because that is obviously on the syllabus as one of the participation things that is part of your grade, but I don't fix anything. Anything else? Anybody tell you guys are really quiet? Has anybody told you that yet?
No, they just told us we were the best.
Of course, you're the best, but you're so quiet.
It'll get better.
Mm-hmm.
We're very sleepy today. That's
Yeah.
the time change.
Yeah.
It's only week 1.
Yeah. Well, technically for all of you, it's like week what? 16? The week 16, 17, 18, something like that. Yeah.
Going by.
Do you know anything about stats?
What do you need to know? I know how to refer you to.
Last class.
Yeah. Do you know that there is a graduate statistics studio at Fresno State? So
It
when
was
you're
really
working on-
helpful for me when I was writing my chapter 3.
yeah.
They
So
were awesome.
yes,
It
they
was kind
will
of hard
help
to get
you.
an appointment, but once I got one, it was good.
Mhm. Well, that's because all of our doctoral students that are in the middle of their dissertations are taking up a lot of their time, and our thesis students take up a lot of their time too. But just know that when a lot of people get worried, it's like, well, what if I don't get a statistician on my committee? You don't have to worry about it because you've got the graduate writing studio and the graduate stat studio to help you. And they're fabulous. So they even run your data for you.
Ooh.
So, yeah, they're really good. So you don't have to worry later on. Don't just take that worry off. Just check that right off the list. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. So y'all don't have to have Dr. Trace. It's okay.
I think there's plenty of other worries still, though.
Yeah. Trust me, as it gets closer, that one will come up. So can you tell that people have been asking me that in the first cohort? They talk about that. I'm like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's going to be all right. So what else can I help you with?
Could you explain a little bit more about the reflection paper? Because I
Yes.
guess I haven't looked that far ahead.
Yeah.
I guess I understand the case study, but a little bit more about the reflection
Mhm.
paper.
So you're going to be writing about your growth over the course and thinking about a leader who's developed knowledge about reform and then the change process. So part of the course is based on you knowing and understanding reform, and then about 3/4 of the course is based on you understanding how to manage it and how to recognize it and what to think about it. That's the reason for the case studies. So you're able to go out there and look and see something that might be different or new, or it could be a changing phenomenon that's going on in society at this time. And you can make some assumptions about it and even actions. I can tell you right now that you will get a case study for the comp exam from this course, but the biggest piece to the case study, to the comp exam out of this course, is that you're able to come up with an action plan. Because that's what you're practicing when you do the case study at the end. You kind of write up like, well, here's what we might suggest to anyone in this particular situation. So the reflection paper is your reflection about the process of what you've learned with all those things. The last part of adaptive leadership, if you notice it's not assigned to you as a reading, but it's a self-reflective part, and I refer people to it to help them write that paper, as is the final part of the Senge book, because it's not assigned to you as in reading, but it is also on personal growth and self-reflection, and you can use both of those books to help you be able to think of things that you might need to think of to push yourself on reflection, only because by that time you might be brain dead and it's almost Christmas, right? We all got to be glad, because I think this year we ended on December 23rd, right? Last year was December 24th. We were like online to the last moment. So, hey, you got 1 day break. So you guys are good. But I found that people need some supports. It's kind of a personal, you're kind of tracing your personal history with your growth over the last 8 weeks in your thinking.
Great, thank you.
There's no, and okay, this is the next question. How long does it have to be? So you're thinking that? There's no set amount of pages. It's when you're done, you're done. You need to give us enough that we feel like you're telling us at a doctoral level what your growth has been, right? But some of you are verbose, and some of you are probably able to say things in a succinct way. So what we're looking for is that what you needed to tell us is there, right? So we're not looking for a certain length.
I just have a question, because I didn't know we were writing a reflection paper.
Mm-hmm.
Is this in the syllabus? Was it in, okay, and is the case study explained also in the syllabus?
The case study is not explained in the syllabus. It gets explained to you in a session once I sign you up and get your Zoom session organized. I get online with you in your group and explain it clearly.
Okay.
What you're going to do. It's easy. It's too hard to write it out and be able to get everyone to understand it and answer everyone's questions. So I just do it in a Zoom session.
Okay.
So you know what to do.
It'll make sense once she
Mhm.
and Dr. Weiss
Mhm.
because
Okay.
you and I are much clearer now.
Yeah. And I basically am with you every step of the way, walking you through it. So you can get on and Zoom with me at any time, or you can text me, or you can call me. Your group can get a hold of me, like this is what we're thinking this week, or this is what we're thinking this week. It doesn't have to be these, you don't have to wait for Sunday on your case studies. You just get a hold of me when you need help with it. So I'm there to help you. I'm not throwing you out there in the deep end of the pool and saying, swim, swim. Okay, I'm there to help. Any other question? Okay, you're okay? All right, so this week in Module 2, you're watching 4 videos. You're doing reflection on the 4 videos. That's the biggest piece of what you're doing, and then you're jumping into adaptive leadership. So there's a couple of parts to the module, because there's the, finishing up the reform piece and looking at what people are saying out in the field. And then there's jumping into the adaptive leadership. That's what you're working on. Next week, you'll be finishing up adaptive leadership and moving into the Cengage work. And then the next week after that, classes put the module together. So when are you going to find out about the case study? How do you find out what it entails?
In the session we're having with you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm checking for understanding, make sure, because you're all going to get off and go, oh my God. In the session, yeah, and by tomorrow night, I'll be emailing out and saying, because I went on today and I was going to email today and say, hey, everybody, let's get on. Let's set up a time for a Zoom session this week, but not everybody had signed up for a case study. That's why I sent that announcement out, because the sooner the better. So by, this week, we're going to talk online, and then you'll know exactly what you need to do and where you need to go. Okay. How do you find out about the Cengage chapter assignment? It's in Module 2. Okay. It's in Module 2.
Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. Okay, we're good? Anybody have anything else, or should we all hang up?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay. So the other thing is, just know you can get a hold of me at any time. Okay, my doctoral students always come first on my list of things that I need to do. So if for any reason you email me and you don't hear from me within 24 hours, you need to email me again and say, hey, did you see this? I get hundreds of emails, and sometimes they get stuck in the middle of something that I thought was just a group of emails that came, because I get CC'd on tons of stuff. So just email me again right away. The other thing you can do is you can text me and say, hey, I've got this question if it's short, or you can text me and say, I just emailed you, I need help, right? Or I just emailed you, I got this question. So then, because I just don't let my doctoral students wait. So you just need to know that. If you don't hear from me within actually just a few hours, you need to get a hold of me a different way.
I have just a really quick, simple question. Are you okay with us messaging you through Canvas, or would you
Yes.
prefer? Okay.
I take any of it.
Okay.
I don't prefer any one way. I also know that you are working late at night. A lot of you are working on class stuff after your families are done for the day. So if it's late at night, and you want to talk to me, just let me know. Then text message me, because I may not be online, but I usually have my phone with me around the house. So then I'll see it. If I don't respond to you, you know that I conked out, right? But I'm up late a lot, and it's really common for me to just jump online or get on the phone and help.
No, thanks. I spend so much time in Canvas. I just prefer to use the
That's
inbox,
fine.
but I know Dr. Trace didn't.
Yeah. And sometimes too, if you post something in Canvas and you really want a quick answer, you can always text message me. It's 559-355-9291 and say, hey, posted a question in message in Canvas or something, because then I'll just go on immediately, and then I can take care of things for you.
Can
Okay,
I get that
perfect.
number again,
Because
please?
I realize that sometimes it's too much to write the whole thing in a text message. The text
Right.
message just prompts me to go check it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank
Sorry, that
you.
was 559 what?
559-355-9291.
Sweet.
It's on the syllabus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Most people don't believe me, though, so that's why I repeat it.
thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. And my family's quite used to my students text messaging me all the time, so do not worry about it. Just do it. Any other
Okay.
questions?
Nope. Thank you very much. I gotta put a
You're
baby to bed.
welcome.
Bye.
Okay, so next Sunday we're online again, but what do you do if you need me before that?
Call or text.
Call,
or-
text, use Canvas, whatever you want. Okay,
Thank
and I'll
you.
go work on these 2 broken links a little later tonight. Okay,
Thank you.
okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Bye.
I'll go
Thank
and I'll post the recording too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Awesome. Sorry to
thanks.
put you on the spot.
You didn't. It's fine, Tracy. I
Kinda
just
like,
forget.
gotten in the habit of reminding each other.
Yeah, thank you, because I forget.
Me too.
Thank you. It's not a problem.
Night.